Hello, and welcome to all our viewers in Cameroon and across the globe. Welcome to one of your leading political programs that is seeking to listen, give the platform to all political actors, actors of the civil society, and even journalists ahead of the upcoming presidential election. Can you imagine that we are just 11 days to go? Official campaigns began on Saturday last weekend, paving the way for candidates to crisscross the different cities across Cameroon. Of course, on your screen, you can see 12 candidates, but so far we know officially that two have dropped from the competition. That is the race to Etoudi. We have Ateke Caxton, who has joined the ranks of Bello Boba Maigari, and we also have Barrister Akere Muna, who is now with Bello Boba Maigari of NUDP party. Meanwhile, despite the campaign entering its fifth day tomorrow, the incumbent President Paul Biya is still out of the country to the curiosity of so many people, and no schedule for his return has been announced. Cameroonians just woke up and were told that the president was leaving, and we don't know when he is going to be coming back. But who knows, maybe on the eve of election tomorrow, or maybe even this weekend or next week. Now, here on Road to Etoudi, we go beyond the banners, the headlines. We go beyond the conversations that we are having on social media and on different media. We engage directly with the candidates to discuss the vision and concrete policies that they believe will earn them the place at the presidency of Cameroon. We know that it is 43 years and it is past time Cameroon continues to be governed by what many people have so far described as meaningless slogans. We want to hear concrete plans and what candidates will do about the many problems plaguing Cameroon. Of course, most of you now watching already know some of the problems that are plaguing your different localities, whether you are watching from Kumba, from Douala, from the far north region, from the center region, from Ebolova, from Betua in the east region of Cameroon, from the northwest, from the west. You know the different problems that are plaguing your different communities. That is why tonight we are honored to host a candidate who came third in the 2018 presidential election and has since been influential in governing and government policies in the National Assembly of Cameroon. You can already see his picture. We are so honored to have Honorable Cabral Libii. He is presidential candidate of the Cameroon National Reconciliation Party, the PCRN. So we are going to be receiving Honorable. Honorable, good evening. Thank you for receiving our invitation and honoring it. We are honored to have you today.
Good evening to you. Good evening to all the viewers. And I'm honored to be invited in this remarkable program.
So the honor is ours. So many people have been expecting you to be here, and finally you are here. We are so glad to have you. We can see that there could be some technical hitches from the end of our guest. We will certainly get to have him back. I'm sure that so many Cameroonians are already itching to ask a lot of questions because he is, of course, Honorable Cabral Libii says that he's not the youngest or he's not a youth, but he's one of the youngest as far as the race to Etoudi this 2025 is concerned. Like we said earlier, in 2018, he was a part of the presidential race. He did quite well, according to the official statistics that we have. He also was one of the main opposition candidates in 2018. And in 2025, he is also having and amassing a lot of support across the youths, amongst even older people, Cameroonians in different regions of Cameroon, already looking at his program, his economic, social, and political program. We are hoping that we'll be able to have Mr. Cabral Libii to answer our questions tonight if the network in Cameroon permits. You know, it's always been the major challenge that we have had since the start of Road to Etoudi. Sometimes our candidates are willing, but the local connectivity would not allow them to stay. So we have a lot to discuss with him as we await his return. We will certainly be looking at his security programs, the political programs that he has for Cameroon. We'll also be looking at the economic solutions that he has um, to solve some of the economic problems that
Am
are
I
facing
connected,
Cameroon.
please?
Yes, you are connected. So welcome back.
But I don't have the sound.
Can you
I don't
hear
know
me?
what is happening. I'm
Um,
seeing you speaking,
yes,
but I don't have the sound.
yes. So we can see you. Maybe you muted yourself, or because when you're coming back,
Sorry.
okay, okay. Okay.
What is happening? I don't have the sound, please.
Um, mm, you have to reconnect. Yeah. I wish I understood sign language. I'll just yeah. So we are hoping that he goes out and comes back into the studio so that we can have this very important conversation that we planned for today. So many Cameroonians are already watching. As I can see, we have already 500 people in less than 5 minutes. It's about 6 minutes. We are streaming on our different social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and also on X. And we are hoping that Mr. Cabral Libii is going to be joining us anytime from now so that we can continue the conversation that we started. I know, like I said, that Cameroonians have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe we can talk a little bit about Mr. Cabral Libii, but that will be later because now we have a lot of questions, and I'll just try to have a look a bit if there are questions also coming in from the audience. This is one of ours where we do some of our productions, so we can see the audience communicating. Yes, I can see you, Vicky Best. You say that we can get him very well. And we also have this comment from Tagu. We can see you. News Info says that you are connected. Kanye says that he wants to be hired. Okay, I think Mr. Cabral Libii is here again. And
Okay, I'm here
yes,
again. The
can
show
you
was
hear me?
suspended. I don't know why.
Can you hear
But
me?
now, yes, I'm hearing
Okay.
you.
Okay, yes, welcome. So I think we have to go straight to the
I'm
point.
sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Yes, yes. You wanted to say something. Go ahead. You wanted to say
I
something.
was saying that I'm sorry.
No, no problem. That's fine.
Okay.
It's actually not your fault, and it's not the first time we are having this. So,
Okay.
Mr. Cabral Libii, since you took over the PCRN, there have been a lot of leadership problems at the helm of the party, who is controlling who and who should step down and who should be in control. So you survived all of these problems. You have survived, and you are a presidential
It is the
candidate
right
today.
word.
Yes, you survived. Even in court, you won the battle. How did you succeed to defeat Atanganji?
Yes, I survived. It is the right word you have used. How did I succeed? I don't know. By the grace of God, first, and because the courts, justice, has decided to say just the law. Because there is no problem in Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation. The right pronunciation in English, I think, is CPNA, Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation. It is the official pronunciation of
Oh,
it.
thank you. Mhm.
So, you certainly know that. Since 2019, I have been elected president of this political party during a congress which was called by the former president. He signed himself all the documents after the meeting, and himself he sent this document to the Ministry of Territorial Administration, and this ministry accepted and recognized me officially as the national president of this political party. But I was surprised many years after, because after 2019, we went to legislative and municipal elections. After that, we organized another meeting, another congress, on which the former president was present. He signed all the documents. Yes. So I am the one who signed the document mandating him as candidate during the legislative elections in 2020 in his own circumscription. But after that, he decided to go to the court, and the Ministry of National of Territorial Administration decided that okay, we are not authorized to have any meetings. We are not authorized to organize any activities. These we have supported these persecutions during 2 years from 2023, when we tried to organize a congress in Kribi, which was suspended in after instruction of Atanganji. But
Mhm.
we went to court and we won the battle, have you as you have said. So we thank God and we thank justice for that.
Okay, thanking justice and thanking God. Have been seeing a lot of information swirling across different media and social media platforms that you only succeeded to win the case against the other opponent, your opponent, as per who is supposed to be at the helm of your party because you work with or for the government. Are people having alleging that you are working in collaboration with the government? I mean, we see that information circulating almost on a daily basis. You are being accused almost every day of working with the regime. What would be your response? Is that true?
No, it is not true. I know. I have heard about all these disinformation about my persons. How can you work with a government which persecutes you? This is the only question I asked. You have certainly heard what Atanganji have said about me.
Mhm.
He didn't want me to be candidate for this presidential election. He tried to eliminate my candidature. He has done all his best to eliminate my candidature. Which kind of collaboration have you ever seen like that? It is not possible. It is just not possible. But I know, in our context, when you come in politics like me, because I'm just a common person, when I decided to enter in politics in 2017, who was Cabral Libii? Cabral Libii was this journalist you have certainly seen
Yes.
one day in Douala. It was this common person who was a journalist, who was doing chronicles in media, who were criticizing, who was criticizing, it is right, I think, who was
Yes.
criticizing
Yes.
government.
Mhm.
And I entered in politics suddenly, suddenly. And many other politicians were surprised with by my entrance, by my sudden entrance in politics, and the success I had. So
Mhm.
you certainly remember that um, in 2018, because I have never had 30 millions in my life.
Yes.
Never. Never. Before
What
these
what
15
about
years.
now? What about now? Have you had
Let
30
me let
million?
me let, let me tell you the history. And I
Okay.
asked for people. I asked for people to help me. It was the first time in our context that we saw a candidate, a presidential candidate, who just beg people, asking for help, telling them that, okay, I have ideas, I have a vision, I have a program, but I don't have money to
Mm,
pay to be candidate. And these people help me. People give me money. But you certainly heard some politicians, I don't know, some opponents telling that, okay, this money has been given by government. I gave the proofs to journalists, saying that, showing them that you can see all these persons, they gave me 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. They helped me to collect this money. So when you, and what I was saying is that in our context, when you come in politics, just like a common man, just like a common person, you can
mm,
be rejected for that. Because in
right.
our context, I should have been the son of a minister, a son of a rich person, coming from a rich family. I should have been pushed by I don't know, I don't know, a famous other politician, just because I was a common person. You certainly know why? Let me make this analogy. I'm not Jesus Christ, but sometime when I'm thinking about the life of Jesus Christ, this man, what has he done to 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 merit what he suffered? Nothing, nothing. But the problem of Jesus Christ was that he was a common person doing marvelous things. And Cabral Libii entered in politics as a common man, as a common person. Just I am just like an ordinary Cameroonian, and how can he uh, 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 how can he collect money? How can he do this? How can he do that? It is not normal. When you are
Mm,
too normal in our context, you are suspected.
you're
This is the
suspected.
reality, and
Right.
it is paradoxically, because at the same time we need new persons, we need new blood. But when you are a new person, when you are a new blood, exactly for these reasons, you are suspected. Look at these elections. Let me go far because I know this question I have seen in the document you sent to me. We will speak
Yes.
about that. But
Yes.
just look at this election.
Yes.
You are seeing people supporting persons who worked with this government. We want to change
Like Bello
during
Buba and Shiruma.
during 30 years,
Yes.
25 years. But you are seeing people, they are calling for change, but they are
Mm,
at the same time calling people to choose what we want to change. It is paradoxical, and uh, I think you have understood what I wanted to explain. That I'm suffering from my simplicity. I'm suffering from my nature of common man, common people, new blood, new person with new ideas, and I have been rejected by some politicians, not because they didn't know the truth, but they found just a pretext to manipulate people. I have
right.
never, never, never worked with this government. From my when I was 24 years old in 2004, I was the spokesperson of an association who called for the defeat of Paul Biya. I was a student. And from that moment, I've stayed constant because for me, constance in politics is fundamental. Coherence in politics is fundamental. You are with people or you are with government. And those who have been with this government, when they decide to come in opposition, they are showing me as the one who is with the government, because it is, but it is clear for everybody that there are those who have worked with government, and
Right.
they are telling
Mm.
that okay, it is Cabral Libii. So it is just to manipulate populations. But I thank God, because by time people are understanding that it was wrong. They have just tried to eliminate me as a politician, as a candidate. But you have certainly said all those populations we came recently to my meeting in Douala, and many of them, they told me, okay, they have tried uh, to hmm, they have lied about you, they have
Mm-hmm.
manipulated us about you, but now we have seen the truth. We have understood. We have understood that you are a right man. You are a right person, and we are we are behind you. Okay.
Yes. So for the viewers, I'm going to be a listener just like yourself. Like you can see, Honorable Cabral Libii is one of the most eloquent, because I see people saying, oh, you said you're going to learn how to speak English and that you are so fluent in English and they are
Not really fluent,
observing.
but I'm still improving. I'm
You are
still
doing
improving
so
my English as
well.
a pronounce.
Honorable, in 2018, I remember I had criticized you as an individual and said that you had to be releasing some of your statements in English because you that time you were communicating so well in French, and a lot of people also condemned me for doing that. But I am glad that you are not one of those who come out and also take it personally. You've said something that caught my attention about how you started in term when you started your political journey as a young person who just had that dream, that vision for a better Cameroon. You had the project, but you didn't have the finance. And you were a journalist, you were doing reporting and so on and so forth. You knew some of the ills that are affecting the Cameroonian society. And you dared to challenge someone who has been in power for so many years. What pushed you? What was your motivation that time? And do you have the same vision today? Do you feel like you have been up to expectation?
Okay, if you those who are observing me, you can make a comparison between Cabral Libii of 2018 and Cabral Libii of 2025. I'm sure that I'm more mature now. I'm more prepared for the presidential elections. And I can dare to say that now I'm ready. I'm ready. What pushed me in politics? I've told you that when I was 24 years old, in 2004, I called people to refuse to reconduct to vote Paul Biya. And I promised to myself that when I will have the age to be a candidate, I will do that. And in 2018, it was my first possibility to do that because I was 38 years
Mhm.
old. Because to be a presidential candidate in our country, you should be 35. It is my first opportunity. It is what my first, but I didn't have finance, as you have said, but I had a project. I had a vision for my country. Um, Let me tell you that for me, the situation of I'm convinced from uh, my jeunesse, from depuis
Mhm.
ma jeunesse, from
Yes.
my
When you were younger.
when I was younger, I'm convinced that the situation we are passing through in this country with this 40-year government is not unacceptable. It is not unacceptable. So
Mm.
I've promised to myself that If God give me life, God give me strength, God give me population, collaborators to accompany me in this journey, I will fight in this country till things change in this country. I cannot sleep well if I don't fight for change in this country. So I'm permanently, um, um,
Yes, you can say in French. It's okay
I don't
because the
know.
audience
Let me.
too.
I will find the word.
Oui.
I'm I'm
On peut aussi faire
permanently
en français,
obsessed.
en anglais en même temps, oui.
I'm permanently obsessed. C'est le mot. Obsédé
Mhm.
by
Yes,
change.
upset. Yes.
Uh, Now it is 5 or 6 years that I'm in National Assembly, and there I have seen. I have seen. Now I have the confirmation of my intuition. Those who
Mhm.
are ruling this country, they are wicked. That's all. They are egoistics. That's all. You know, if you don't share the difficulties for those you rule, you cannot act for change.
Mhm.
Their preoccupations are egoistics. They are there for their own problems, for their families, for their children. They are there to have money. That's all. You have certainly heard about my work in National Assembly. I'm always contesting. I'm always denouncing. I know we are just five among 180 parliamentarians, but we are just even if we are just five, we are still fighting. So God will decide for the end of this. But me, I will fight, I will permanently fight against them.
So what concrete achievements, concretely, other than fighting, have you been able to make as a member of parliament?
Let me tell you that when what is the role of a parliamentarian? The role of parliamentarian is to vote the bills. And you have two kinds of bills, uh, project and propositions. Project when the bills comes from government, and proposition when the bills comes from opposition. I'm a member
Mhm.
of opposition, and the procedure there is is attached to the majority. So we have tried. We have given propositions, but they had never prospered because we are only five. The majority is blocking all our have blocked all our propositions, and the other role of a parliamentarian is to control the actions of government. You control the actions of government by asking questions, verbal
Mhm.
questions and written questions. And
Right.
you can also ask for uh, commissions of parliamentarian control. But the adoption of this kind of commission is exactly like the adoptions of a bill. So if you are in the minority, your your proposition for commissions, like the commissions we have introduced about all the money they have stolen in COVID, in sports infrastructures, about the movement of teachers on Atrocities, about the increase of fuel prices, gas prices. We have introduced all these, but they didn't prosper because we are in the minority in National Assembly. But we have gained some victories during the adoption of the finance bill 2 years ago. We we obtained uh, uh, 12 modifications of this finance bill. It was an event in National Assembly. So when you have the
Mhm.
majority, you can denounce as you want, you can plead
Right.
as you want, But when comes the moment of vote, the majority will decide for the issue.
Right. So, on the issue of the National Assembly, let's go to the Anglophone crisis. You've often criticized the strategy of the government. But as an MP, what have you actually done at the level of the parliament and your party to push for peace in these regions?
I have called a special plenary. Maybe you don't remember. I called for a special plenary in National Assembly to evaluate what has been done for the reconstruction.
Mm,
And if you remember, I'm the one who denounced what they have done with the money of reconstruction. When I obtained the report of that, it was a scandal, and I denounced. You certainly remember. But let me tell you that for me, in this earth, in this world, all the wars end by peace agreement. All the wars end by peace agreement. And to achieve peace, to achieve an agreement, you should accept to discuss. You should accept to dialogue. I participated to the first national dialogue in 2019. You certainly remember. And
right. Yes.
you certainly know that I was, by some opponents, criticized for this participation. I was the vice president of the commission in charge of internal displaced persons. My boss, my president was Cardinal Christian to me. May his soul rest in peace. And during this Grand National Dialogue, I sent a letter, if you remember, to the President of the Republic, asking
Mm,
him to give the opportunity to Ngalim Felix and Mancho Big C to participate. I don't know if you remember. I published this letter because these two persons, not Mancho BBC, uh, Ngalim Felix, yes, and Mancho BBC, and they are in jail, you know, and they sent the wrote to the President of the Republic, asking him to give them the opportunity to participate to this national dialogue. The government refused to let them participate. I wrote, me, myself, I wrote to the President of the Republic. I wrote to the Prime Minister, who was the coordinator of this Grand National Dialogue. I went to his office, telling him that this is an opportunity for us to achieve peace. And if we want peace, we are obliged to discuss, even with those persons we don't want to face with. I don't know if my English is good.
yes.
And they
It's okay.
refused.
Perfectly understood. Yeah.
What do you want me to do? What I have said, madam, is that me, Cabral Libii, elected President of the Republic,
Mm-hmm.
I will go to Bamenda and Buya. If necessary, I will put the presidency there. Because now we are campaigning, we are promising this or that. Which kind of development can we have in a country in which a part is in a war? It is an emergency. It is an emergency. S'il le faut, je vais déménager la présidence à Boya ou à Bamenda. S'il le faut. Discussing with people, discussing with the other fighters
So, what
to
are the
achieve.
conditions for you to? So, what are the conditions for you to transfer the presidency there? Will it be the outcome of the dialogue, or is already in your in your program?
It will be for the dialogue. Because if you want peace, you go there and you stay there. That's why I'm telling you that s'il le faut, je vais déplacer la présidence. Because it is not time now to send people. The President of the Republic should go there himself discuss with population, discussing with them so that he will know concretely what population need. I have my own idea because I'm proposing solutions. But for me, the first thing to do, it is an emergency, is to go there.
Mm.
President of the Republic himself, staying there and discuss, dialogue to achieve peace.
So how many times have you been to these regions and looking at the situation from like firsthand, if you've been there before, what is your own evaluation of the state of affairs in the Anglophone regions?
We all know the situation. This part of people is destroyed. Many population is displaced. Schools in many places are destroyed. Economy in many places is destroyed. Population, people are frustrated. We all know the situation. I was in Batibo in 2017, and you know, uh, every time I am telling what happened, I'm scared because it was the first time for me to leave, vivre, to leave this kind of
To
the
witness,
situation,
yes,
to
to witness.
witness. Yes, it was the
Mm.
first time for me to witness a war because I was there for a ceremony and I wanted to see concretely what is happening in this part. And during the ceremony, guns starting shooting just behind the house. It was the first time to me to go under bed as I heard about war. And 30 minutes later, and you will be surprised, I was in this ceremony with a person you certainly know, the actual president of Bar Association, Eric Mba. He's the one who hosted me in Bamenda before going to in his home in
Yes.
Bamenda before going to Batibo. And 30 minutes later, he told me, okay, Mr. Cabral, you cannot stay here because it is very, very dangerous for you. Let me pick you out of this place and let me bring you back to Bali. And we went out of this house, just him and me, he and me. The other person stayed under beds in the house, windows and doors closed. And few meters after, I saw Amba boys with weapons. He discussed with them, telling them that, okay, this man is a politician. He went there just to see, to witness, to experience what's happening here. He has seen. Let me bring him back to Bali. And I was surprised. The fighters told him, okay, if you go back by the main road, this man will be killed. If you are serious, if you want to bring him back, pass by the bush, madam. When Eric Mba drove me in the bush, at the moment I told him, okay, bro, if you want to kill me, you are not obliged to bring me in the bush to kill me. Just kill me here. My cops will send back to my village. He told me, don't
Mhm.
worry. When we passed through the bush, we saw fighters here. I discussed with them. They told me why they are fighting. And from this day, I'm different. When I'm here in this francophone part, when I'm hearing people speaking avec légèreté from this
Mhm.
world, sometimes
So
I just
why
want
why
to,
are they fighting, and why do you say that you are different?
the problem for me is misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. You know, we can, okay, if you want, I will make or remake the history.
Just
When,
briefly, because we have a
briefly,
lot to discuss. Yes.
when, when come, when came the moment of independence, we all know that we had a problem with this country. We had a part governed close to Nigeria and a part ruling by France. And all these parts were the butin de guerre, the war booty, c'est ça, butin de guerre, because we have been colonized by Germany. Okay, this is just the history. And the United Nations decided to organize what we call plebiscite, giving
Mhm.
the opportunity to this part, which has been close to Nigeria, to choose, to decide to be attached to Nigeria or to be attached to French Cameroon. You said you know the history.
Oh,
But
yes.
after this, it was organized meeting um, in Fumban, and it is after this meeting that we Cameroon became a federal country. This is the 1st October. It is this special. This is a
They,
special one because in the first on the 1st of October, Cameroon was proclaimed federal country. But which kind of federalism? Which kind of federalism? You know, 11 years later, in 1972, President Aijo decided to reunify this country, and the problem began at this moment. For me, and you can verify, all the countries in this world which faced diversity at the moment of the construction of the foundation, they have chosen federalism. They have chosen federalism because federalism is the only model which gives the the keys of organizing diversity, sociological and anthropological diversity in a shared territory. When Cameroon decided to abolish federalism in this country, this moment was the beginning of the problems we have now. We called it in French vice de fabrication. When the when I don't know, an object is manufactured, when there is a problem, we call it in French vice de fabrication. And when you manufactured something which with vice de fabrication, you will have later the pan de roulement. I don't know how you call it in
yes,
English.
it's a
Vice
bit
de
difficult for me to
fabrication.
translate, but I'm sure that Cameroonians who are watching can understand. I also just wanted to find out. You've
Let,
talked about.
let me
Okay.
let me
Yes.
finish, please.
Yes.
Let me finish, please. And for me, if we want to solve this problem, we have to change the form of this state. We have to choose federalism. But which kind of federalism? Because every state we which choose federalism, this state will adapt it with its own context. In some country, you have religious federalism, like Lebanon. In Ethiopia, you have tribe ethnic federalism. But in South Africa, like in Spain, like in Belgium, you have community federalism. I am not the one who invented, c'est ça, inventé. I'm not
Yes.
the one who
Definitely.
invented community federalism. I'm just proposing it to our country. What is community federalism concretely? Community federalism concretely. Now we have three circumscriptions in our country. We have the 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 councils, les communes. How do you call it? Les communes.
Yes,
Councils,
the local councils.
the
Yes.
local councils. We have um, okay, subdivisions, divisions,
Mhm.
and regions.
Yes.
And we have, above all, centralization. Because for the road in your village, for a school in your village, for an hospital in your village. You have a civil servant somewhere here in ministry. We will tell you that he is competent to decide how you can do with your roads, with your schools in your village. It is not normal. This is the problem. What we are proposing is to eliminate the 10 regions. The 10 regions. We will stay with the 88, the 58 divisions, what we call department. And we
Yes,
transform all these divisions in regions. We will have
58 regions,
58 regions.
regions.
But we are not obliged to stay with 58 regions because we can merge regions which are neighbors and which are the same. Let me give you some examples.
Mhm.
It is not possible to merge Ndiang and Fako divisions culturally. It is
Well,
possible.
it might not be possible because these are two big, they are big. And in terms of culture, it could be a little bit similar, but there are also some diversities. So merging them could
Exactly.
also be problematic.
Exactly. You have similarities and you have differences. But it is possible, you have said it, to merge. You can imagine to merge Menchum and Mezam. If you remove uh, Bafut people, which are from Manu in the border, you will have globally the same culture. I'm seeing you are agreeing because you certainly
No,
know.
I'm listening. I'm
Okay,
listening
you are
because I have
listening. That's
questions.
good.
Yes.
Yes, you will ask your question. I'm just giving you some examples. If you want to rebuild or to create Tika region, a Tika region, you will have a part of Nun in the west, Magban. You will have a part of center in Bamekim division in Gambetika. You will have a part of Adamawa in Mayobanyo, Bankim, and you will have a part of Ndonga Mountain where Saw people are based. Because
Mhm.
Saw people and Tikas, Saw people has the same ancestor with Bamun people.
But don't forget,
So,
there have also been intertribal wars in Cameroon
exactly.
in terms of since I was a child.
Mhm.
One village fighting another over land border disputes here and there. Will that not complicate the already existing problems of border disputes that we have in Cameroon? Could the
No.
solution not be Cameroonians coming together and deciding? Because I know it's just a proposal and it could be modified from your end
Yes.
and your administration if you're voted. But could it not be like Cameroonians deciding what exactly they want? Could that not be
Yes.
the best strategy?
Yes, it is a possibility. It is a possibility. But I'm proposing because I'm a candidate. I have think about a solution for our country. Because look at this proposition in economic phase. In economic phase. Because don't forget that we are a country of diversity. And I just wanted to explain you the difference between an ethnic group and a community. You know, when you say Bafang, Bafang, it is because you speak Bafang. It is just an example. The name
Mhm.
of ethnic group is the name of the language of this ethnic group. When you say, if I say I'm Basa, it is because I speak Basa. But let me take an example. When a person say I'm Sawa, I'm from Sawa people.
Mhm.
Sawa is not the name of an ethnic group
Yes,
because in
correct.
this group, Sawa people, you have Douala, You have Bakwiri, for example. They are Sawa. They don't speak the same language. And in this example, you have French speaker and English speaker. But Sawa is a community. That's why we make a difference between an ethnic group and a community. And what we want to federate in our country is the community. And for us, le noyau, how do you call le noyau in English? Le noyau.
So
The heart of,
the like the crux.
okay,
Yes,
what you
the
have
crux.
said of the
Yes,
community is the division. The division. We have said
I
that
think
we will just merge when it will be possible. When it will be possible, we will merge divisions, new regions, former divisions, ancien département, nouvelle région. We will merge them when it will be possible. Because
possible. Okay.
yes, you have some which cannot be merged. You will not merge. But when it will be possible, like in many places in Cameroon, I can give you some examples. In Central Region, for example, you can merge Nyong Eso Mbalmayo with Mefo Ngumu. In the South
Mhm.
Region, you can merge Jailobo and Villa. You have the same population.
So yeah, honorable,
And now
all
you
of
have
these are.
understood what I'm
Mhm.
trying. And after that, we apply decentralization, what we called decentralization aboutie, effective decentralization, giving to those community regions the possibility to develop themselves by what God gave to them.
So who would
Because
lead these
if we are
regions?
different,
Who would lead these regions?
who will lead this region? The president of the region, elected by his people. Let me make an analogy with the United States. Sometimes I'm telling people that look at United States. It is one of rare countries in the world where a man and his wife can be elected president successively. It is
Mhm.
one of it is a country where a father and his son can be elected president of republic, like Bush father and Bush son, like
Mhm.
Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. But in our country, it will be very, very, very difficult because people will be scandalized. Why? Because this is the difference. In United States, the daily problems of Americans are solved in their state. The person who have the power to solve their problems is the governor of the state. Sometimes they don't care about what they are doing in Washington. That's why when you see a presidential election in Cameroon, sometimes you see communities trying to put one of them to power, because in our conscious in our country, many people think that it is when you have one of yours in power that you will see your problems solved. But when you give power to the base, to the regions, you give to the regions the money, the power, the
Mhm.
competence to solve the problem of people, you will not have problem in this country.
Right.
And you
So
see certainly where the difference, because we are many, we have many candidates who
yes,
propose federalism, but my own federalism is community federalism. This is a difference
community
with other
federalism.
candidates.
That was very well explained. And I'm sure that those who are watching are taking down notes and seeing, thinking whether they have any questions to ask. You're welcome. And your honorable will be here, but not for a very long time. He can answer some of your questions. So we have also received information that you'll be visiting the Northwest, Bamenda. Why is
Tomorrow,
Bamenda the first town you are visiting since the campaign started? Why start your visit in Bamenda? Is there any particular reason?
it is not exactly the first town I will visit in which
I
I will
mean, since the
campaign.
start of the campaign.
Yes, I've begun my campaign in
I
a
mean,
day
in the
and
Anglophone region, sorry, I didn't put it well. In the Anglophone region.
okay.
Yes, sorry.
Because I have told you that I went to Bamenda in 2017. I spoke with population there, and I have decided to go back now to spoke again with them. This
Mm.
is just for that.
Are
We
you
have
aware there's
this
lockdown? And how are you going to handle it?
about what to handle what.
Are you aware there's
Well,
lockdown? And how are you going to handle the lockdown?
I know today is complicated because we know the date, but my co-director of campaign, Barrister Richard Tamfu, is already in Bamenda, and one of our political board member, Blaise Kwajika, they
Mhm.
traveled in the night. They are already there, and they told me that tomorrow it will be possible for us to handle a meeting. So I'm going there to discuss with those who will accept to come and discuss with me. And it will be also an opportunity for me to correct something. Maybe you don't know. Some 2 or 3 years ago, after the assassination of children in school, I called for a state of exception in Northwest and Southwest.
State of
And
emergency.
state where is état d'exception, because we have état d'urgence and état d'exception, state of emergency. It is constitutional. State of emergency is different from state of exception. And I called for the state of exception. And I know, many persons were shocked by this. But I take this occasion, and tomorrow will be an occasion for me to apologize to those who have been shocked. But me personally, me personally, I was deeply offended by what happened. And let me tell you something. I'm a descendant of nationalists. I'm descendant. My grandfather was Makiza. His first son, Makiza, and his second son died fighting in the bush for the independence. And my uncle, one of the survivors, he told me that the fight against independence uh, began to slow down when they started to kill those for them. Uh, they started to kill those for whom they were
They
fighting.
were supposed to be fighting for.
They were supposed to be fighting. And they gave a pretext to the colonialists to crush them. Because you have certainly heard about General Semenge in one
Mm.
of his interview. He said that those who were in the bush, they were killing people, and the state has had an obligation to eliminate them to save people. And when I saw that, I said to myself, what they are doing, they are diluting. I don't know if the word is good. Diluer in English, in French, diluer. In English is what?
I wouldn't want to do wrong translations, but I'm very certain that Cameroonians can understand exactly what
Mm,
you mean. Yes.
okay. For me, they started, I don't know. Uh, when we say in French, brouiller le signal, I don't know. They started brouiller le signal. Because when you kill those for whom you are fighting is wrong. Is wrong.
Mm.
So for me, it was a time. Not for me, state of exception is not militarizing a place. Is to stop doing what is done and reflect for another way to do it. For me, it
Mm.
was because we were offended, deeply offended. For me, it was a moment to stop and discuss about another way to solve the problem. So
Yes.
That's why
Yes.
I told you that
So
it will be
atrocities have
tomorrow an
been
occasion
committed a
to
lot.
apologize.
Sorry that we are talking a lot about the conflict, but atrocities have been committed a lot on both sides. Women have been killed by both separatists and government soldiers. Children have been killed, deprived of education, their rights to education, which is a fundamental human right. A lot's been happening. Communities have been destroyed in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon. But I just wanted to ask a question. When the conflict started, like you just said that you said there should be, you don't call it state of emergency, but it actually meant that the government needed to take more enforcement to make sure that the communities are safe in quote, whereas the atrocities were coming from both sides.
Yes.
But a lot of ministers said a lot of things and downplayed the situation in the Anglophone regions. And as a result, we are where we are today, 10 years and counting. This is the 1st of October, a very symbolic date in the history of our country, but communities are still shattered. Some communities deserted and destroyed, a lot of people displaced. Do you think that those utterances that you made at the time, including the utterances of other members of the government, contributed to bringing the conflict to where it is today?
Yes. Yes. Certainly. Uh, that's uh, for me. That's why I've said I don't want when there is a war. The first thing when you are a ruler, the first thing you have to be conscious is that people is suffering. People is suffering, and the first thing you have to do as a ruler is to stop that. And as you have said, many of government members they joked with this crisis. One of them is candidate. You certainly remember when women and children were killed in
Yes,
Gabu, and the Minister of Communication at this moment is a candidate now. And he said that the massacre didn't take place. And this kind of statement contributed to to consolidate the crisis. That's why I've told you that as a ruler elected on the October 12th, my first thing will be to obtain a peace agreement because I think people have suffered a lot, and
mm,
it is time for us to go there with one spirit to obtain peace. Even if, as the president of the republic, you should kneel down and beg for peace, you should do that. I don't have any solution, any other solution, because any immediate solution, because I don't know. Maybe I don't know uh, if anywhere in this world where we can go and take a miracle solution for a war. You have said that atrocities has been made by all the fighters, the militaries, and those Amba boys who are in the bush.
yes,
And it is very, very difficult to reorganize the dialogue between two, uh, 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 two groups which are shooting themselves. But when you rule a country, in Colombia, we have seen many other wars in the world which ends with peace agreement. It is not easy. I recognize that it is not easy. That's why I've told you that maybe if it is necessary to go and stay in Bamenda or Buea, to stay there to discuss with people, I will do that because I'm conscious that there is no miracle solutions now because 10 years of a war, it is terrible. Nobody has miracle solutions. If somebody
mm,
raised himself now and tell you that okay, tomorrow I will go to Bamenda and Buea or Kumbo, and I will come back with the peace after 2 days, is a liar. Because we have to work together for peace, to achieve peace. But the main person who should organize this process is the president of the republic. And the problem we have now, tell me why, from the beginning of this crisis, why the actual president, even one time, going there just to discuss with the traditional the chiefs. I've seen some of them in the presidency here. I don't know for what. Okay, it is
And
another
yeah,
problem.
some of them have
But
endorsed the president himself.
I
Yes.
don't know what they are doing. But I hope that when they went there, they tell to Paul Biya to go there and discuss with population. So for me, I don't understand why. Why you rule a country? You have a part of your country in a war, in a crisis like that. People are dying every day, and you don't find time just for one time to go there and discuss with authorities, to discuss with militaries, to discuss with organizations, civil organizations, to discuss with families, to discuss with population. They don't have, I don't know if they have the hurts in their breast. C'est ça, oui. I don't know. But for me,
Mm.
we should begin by this,
Yes,
by
just
going there and
briefly,
discuss.
what will you do with the political prisoners? Will you release them? Just briefly before.
Let me tell you that if we want to have a new departure in this country, we are obliged, after this dialogue, to accept that those who have committed, uh, committed, I don't know,
Yes, committed.
those
You're
who
doing
have
well. You're
committed
doing so well. Yes.
those who have committed atrocities, they should apologize. And when they apologize, we have the moral obligation to accept that they have apologized, and we try to rebuild. We try to rebuild. And to rebuild, you are obliged to discuss even with the prisoners, because some of them who are in jail, they have committed atrocities. It is real. But as you have said, militaries also, it is a war. They are doing what they can do. It is a war. And sometimes they go to the village and atrocities are committed. So if we have commission of atrocities in the both parts, we have to organize a dialogue. If we forgive to this part of militaries, we have also to forgive to these other parts of those who are in jail, part
Mm.
of prisoners. And at the moment, we have to accept that we permit them to be liberated,
Yes. Yes. To be released. So there's also
to be
Boko
released.
Haram.
Okay, this is the
Yes.
right word. We have to
We also
accept
have
that. But
the
let
Boko
me tell you
Haram.
that
Yes.
it is very, very, very difficult, because
Mm.
when you release a person who has killed the mother or the father in a family, just know that this family still exists. And imagine the la douleur is what in English?
The pain.
Imagine the pain of a member of family saying that, seeing that we have decided to release the persons who killed his mother or his brother or his sister. It is very, very difficult. But look at the experience of Rwanda. At the moment, they decided to organize reconciliation. And it is um, I don't know how you call coincidence, coincidence in English.
Coincidence. The same.
Coincidence.
Coincidence.
The
Yes.
political party I lead is named Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation. If I'm a president of a political party which name is Reconciliation, I have to reconciliate population. But you cannot reconciliate two persons who don't have problems. But it is a very difficult task. But we have to do that. We have to do that. We have to reconciliate those who fought it.
Yes, so we also have the Boko Haram terrorizing some parts of like generally, some parts of the far north region that is since 2013. What specific strategy will you bring to stop this insurgency?
Okay, you just remind that in the north regions, we have two kind of terrorism. We have external terrorism, Boko Haram, and we
Mhm,
have internal terrorism now, because every day people are kidnapped in some regions in some region in the north, and we have two kind of terrorism, and we should have two methods against these terrorisms. Against external terrorism, Boko Haram, we have to intensify collaboration with other countries
mhm,
like Nigeria and Chad. We don't have choice. We have to work with them. And if you remember, uh, 3 or 4 years ago, Cameroon and these other countries, they created an organization, Force Multinational Mixed,
yes,
multinational
multinational joint task
forces
force. Yes.
joint task force, and we saw the results immediately, because terrorism is a particular is a is a particular conflict. If you don't mutualize with the neighbors, you cannot eradicate terrorism. And the second one, related to the first terrorism, the second one is kidnapping. We have
Mhm,
to modernize the equipment of our army, the equipment of our army, because the main problem we also have in, it is a delicate issue. It is a delicate subject, because we are speaking about our defense. We are speaking
all depends. Yes.
about those who are working, those who are dying in defending our territory. So we know that enemies maybe are looking this program. So I cannot go deeply. Yes, I cannot. I want to rule this country, and I know when a problem is delicate, I will not go deeply. But in our army, we have many problems. The problem of careers, problem of corruption. We have many frustrations. We have some army, some sections which are well equipped, and the others which are not well equipped, and this situation create frustrations between the forces, and we have the problem of equipment. Recently I was in Adamawa traveling from Ngaundere to Galimtinye, and we had an accident in a village named Lebong Boom. And in this village, every day people are kidnapped. And I was surprised that at 6 p.m., all the families lock the doors, and they block themselves in their houses. But I was amazed. Imagine that in this kind of village where kidnapping are made every day, we didn't have network, phone network. We didn't have electricity. Now tell me, how can you have a place like that without electricity, without network, phone network? We have to give our army the the drones to surveiller,
Yes.
to
To to
guard. Yes,
survey, to like surveillance, but also like to
yes, to
monitor.
guard,
Yes.
to monitor the places uh, in the day and in the night. Just look at what has been done in other countries which faced this kind of problem. Okay, my answer is to modernize the equipments of our army.
Modernize, and because you also say it's strategic, and you will govern the country and you make things very differently. So let's go to the economy. So youth unemployment is above 70% in Cameroon. What's your concrete plan to create jobs and make sure that young people are not fleeing the country abroad? Because just recently I've been receiving a lot of messages inbox of Cameroonians saying somebody's come to me about 10 million, 5 million for visa applications. And it was an opportunity for me to travel abroad, but it didn't work out. Many people just want to leave the country because there are no jobs, there are no opportunities. So what will be your solution?
The first solution is change, madam, because those who are responsible of no jobs and opportunities are those who are ruling this country.
Mm,
When we speak about jobs, we have two kind of jobs, obviously, public jobs and private jobs. Let us talk about public jobs. The international standards says that a country should employ 10% of its population so that state can be present and visible everywhere in a country. In some countries like US, if you call the police, if you call the police, you will have policemen in front of your door 5 or 7 minutes later. It is right. It is because this country has sufficient policemen to be present everywhere. It is because the state doesn't employ Cameroonians that we don't have sufficient doctors, we don't have sufficient policemen, don't have sufficient judges, and so on. That's why. But when you speak about public jobs, they will tell you that where will you take money to give salaries to all these persons? Now tell
mhm,
me, where do they take the money they are stolen every day? It is in our treasury. So we have to stop corruption. If we stop corruption in this country, we will give public jobs to population.
mhm,
Now you will ask me how to stop corruptions. To stop corruptions, we have, for me, two things to do, adding to all the solutions we have till now, because we have many, many solutions against corruptions in this country. But for me, really, to eradicate corruption, the first thing to do is to ameliorate the public service, le service public, the public
yes,
service.
public service.
Because I've made a comparison with some other countries where corruption is very, very low. And I noted that in all the countries where corruption is very, very low, public service is very, very high. Because when public service is good, generally people feel protected and they will not spontaneously go to pick the money in the common treasury. But
Mhm,
when they don't feel protected, they find solution to be protected. You know, some people sometimes are doing corruption just to give food to their families, just to have good schools for their children. Sometimes, but you have the others who take the money. I don't know exactly for what, just because they are the bangji. They are taking our money. I don't know exactly what. Just then, that's why I'm telling that the first thing to do is to ameliorate public service. Our state should be our protector. That's why our vision in this electoral election is the state that protects and unleashes energies. Now, to create jobs for us, madam, we will apply in this country the policy of in this industrial multiplier. Me, Cabral Libii, president of this republic, we will never, never export natural resources without transforming them at least 2 times. You remember? That's why I contest the why President Biya signed about iron in Kribi. He has given our iron to Chinese in Kribi. They have given, I don't know how bauxite is called in English, but you
Bauxite.
understand. Bauxite. Recently, Prime Minister was in Minimata. They have given our bauxite freely to Australians. It is not normal. You cannot create jobs in a country where, when the public reports says that we have um, we have sell, on a vendu, we have
Yes,
we have sell, c'est
we
ça?
sold. We
Vendu.
sold.
Past
Yes,
simple
we
is
sold.
sold. We have
Yes, we
sold
sold.
5 kilograms of gold in Emirates. But when you go to the report of Emirates, you discover that Emirates has about 500 kilograms of gold. And when I
Mm.
asked in National Assembly, I asked to the Minister of Finance, tell me why, when you say that you have sold 5 kilograms, the person to whom you have sold it, he's saying that he has bought 500. He told me that is the difference between origin and provenance. If you
Yes.
understand
So
something,
yes,
you tell me. Another
Mr.
another solution to create
Yes,
jobs is to release the energies of enterprises. Because in our country, enterprises are suffering because of taxes. This is Sandrine Yamga. Because
yes.
of taxes. It's for so long, Sandrine Yamga, for taxes. So we have to, comment on dit baisser les impôts?
Reduce
We
the
have
tax.
to reduce
The tax.
taxes.
Yes, reduce the
But
taxes. Yes.
let me tell you something. To reduce the taxes, we have to increase our wealth, national wealth. When you read the statistics of FME, they say that our wealth, GDP, PIB, GDP is 25 billion of CFA francs. But generally, we forget that these 25 billions just represent 10% of our economy, because 90% of our economy are informal.
Mhm.
And because of this informality, this 80% of economy is not counted in our national wealth. That's why we're proposing to install in our country, like in other countries in the world, a system, a digital system, which will be able to control all the economic transactions in our country, so that state will have more money and will be able to reduce taxes, permitting enterprises to give jobs. And the third solution is to give finance to, to the youth by the
So
digitalization of the country and creating a bank of
yes.
innovation and
So
investment.
yes,
We
Mr.
will give
Cabral, I know
the
that
opportunity to the youth
we
to
can talk
invest.
and talk and talk and talk again.
Okay.
In the beginning,
I close my mouth and I
Honorable
listen.
I called Honorable Cabral Libii the Obama of Cameroon, because Obama will speak off script, and he can go on and on like for an hour. I remember Sandrine Yamga has just joined us.
I
She
hope I will
is
have the destiny of
my
Obama.
very learned colleague and a very brilliant journalist. We know her, of course. And you could see Cabral Libii, Honorable Cabral Libii could recognize her. Welcome, Sandrine, and thank you for joining us.
Ben, merci Mimi. Bonjour, bonsoir Cabral. Désolée,
Ah
je
oui.
ne pouvais pas joindre plus tôt. Mais
Oui,
je suis
Sandrine,
contente.
ça fait longtemps, longtemps.
Je sais que ça
Sandrine
fait
et
longtemps,
moi,
beaucoup d'années.
Sandrine et moi, on était presque, je vais oser le dire, presque comme
Oui,
mari et femme. Parce
Ouais,
que,
presque.
oui,
parce que pendant 2 ans et demi, nous avons travaillé ensemble dans la nuit et au petit matin. Parce que
oui,
lui,
oui,
Mhm.
oui. Je me
Elle
rappelle.
présentait la matinale à Equinox Radio.
Absolument, à 7 heures le
Et j'étais
matin.
chroniqueur à Equinox Radio. Donc, Sandrine m'appelait au milieu de la nuit pour me demander le
Oui,
thème de la
oui,
chronique. Et le matin, on
oui.
se parlait avant qu'elle n'aille en studio. C'est pour ça que je dis qu'on était presque mari et femme, tellement
Bah,
on se parlait tous les jours. Et je
ça
suis
va,
très
moi
heureux
aussi,
de
je
la
suis
voir
tellement
là,
heureuse.
toujours aussi belle et rayonnante.
Oh,
Oui,
merci, c'est gentil. Mais on va se reprendre juste après que tu as fini, j'espère bien qu'on va pouvoir se parler.
Ce sera
Mais
avec
je disais
plaisir.
à Mimi ce matin que j'ai 2 ou 3 questions pour toi. Je suis juste arrivée pour ça. Malheureusement, le moment n'était pas très bon avec le décalage horaire, donc je ne pouvais pas joindre plus tôt et je suis obligée de partir aussi plus tôt. Première question pour toi. Alors, je vous entends, la vague orange, je dirais plutôt le PCRN, scandé. Je vais mettre le mot entre guillemets. S'il n'est pas bien placé, on pourrait me corriger là-dessus. On va gagner l'élection du 12 octobre 2025. Comment est-ce que vous en êtes si sûr? Qu'est-ce qui vous pousse à le penser? Est-ce que vous
Alors, vous
minimisez les
avez bien
candidats qui
noté.
sont en lice ou pourquoi est-ce que vous semblez si certain d'y arriver?
OK. Alors, il faut préciser que nous le disons depuis quelques jours. On ne le disait pas avant. On le dit depuis quelques jours.
Mais qu'est-ce
Donc,
qui vous fait
pourquoi?
croire ça?
Ben, c'est ce que je m'en vais vous expliquer. C'est que nous découvrons enfin, avec émerveillement, le résultat de notre travail. Parce que depuis 2019 que nous avons pris le PCRN, nous étions conscients de notre retard vis-à-vis des anciens partis politiques que nous avons. Et nous nous sommes mis au travail pour rattraper ce retard en implantant notre parti politique partout. Puis, lorsque nous sommes allés à l'Assemblée nationale, nous nous sommes dit, nous ne sommes que 5 sur 180, mais nous plaçons notre mandat à l'Assemblée nationale sous le signe de l'épuisement au travail. Et puis, troisième chose, nous avons publié 2 ouvrages. En 2021, le fédéralisme communautaire, dont je parlais tout à l'heure avec Madame Mimi Mefo. Puis, en 2024, une offre politique, le manifeste de la rupture et du progrès. Et malheureusement, en 2023, Madame Mefo nous a posé la question à l'entame, nous sommes entrés sous la persécution du ministre de l'administration territoriale, au point même qu'on s'est dit à un moment que peut-être les bases du parti ne tenaient plus, parce que nous avons été interdits de réunions, interdits de meetings, interdits de congrès. Vous vous souvenez que même faisant la dédicace de mon ouvrage, le MINAT a donné instruction à un moment au gouverneur de m'expulser de toutes les régions. Mais lorsque nous avons repris le terrain, quand nous avons gagné les procès, nous avons gagné 7 procès, et lorsque notre candidature a été adoptée, il ne pouvait plus nous empêcher de travailler. Nous avons commencé par Kribi. Et nous avons fait exprès de commencer par Kribi parce que je me suis dit, si je vais commencer par Ezeka, on va dire que c'est ma circonscription. Pas qu'on va dire, moi-même j'aurais une mauvaise température de la réalité parce que c'est ma circonscription. Donc je suis allé commencer loin au sud, à Kribi. Et j'ai dit à mes camarades, le meeting de Kribi doit être un meeting uniquement avec les militants. Madame Yamga, lorsque j'ai vu 4000 militants débarquer à Kribi, pour moi, c'était comme un miracle. Je me suis dit, mais non, on n'est pas mort. Et après Kribi, nous sommes allés dans la Liké, nous sommes allés dans la Mefouya Famba, Mefouya Kono, nous sommes allés à l'extrême nord, passant par le maillot Kani, le maillot Danaï, Kaile, Yagua, Touloum, Gidigiz, Digilao, Marois, Kousseri. On a vu des milliers de gens venir à notre rencontre. On est reparti à Paris, où sont logés plein de gens qui nous vilipendent matin, midi, soir. On nous a dit que bon, on n'avait même plus un militant là-bas. Nous avons trouvé une salle aussi comble que celle que nous avons remplie en 2018. Et les gens n'avaient de cesse de nous dire, Monsieur Libii, on croit en vous, malgré tout ce que vous avez subi. Et Madame Mefo, vous me posez la question à l'entame, malgré tout ce qu'on vous a collé, malgré tout ce qu'on a raconté sur vous, et vous, Sandrine Yamga, vous êtes bien placé pour dire aux gens quel a été mon parcours, parce qu'il y a votre main dedans. Et les gens me disent, mais non, on a enfin compris, et on est derrière vous. Je vous assure, Madame Sandrine Yamga, entendons-nous, hein, soyons clairs. Dans le pays ici, là, où je vis là, dans les routes, personne ne peut marcher sur les routes ici et voter pour ce pouvoir. Personne ne peut aller dans les hôpitaux qu'on connaît ici et voter pour ce pouvoir. Personne ne peut inscrire son enfant dans les écoles que nous voyons ici et voter pour ce pouvoir. Personne ne peut vivre dans la misère dans laquelle la majorité des Camerounais vivent et voter pour ce pouvoir.
Mais
La
vous n'êtes pas
question
aussi
est,
sûr que la foule arrive juste. Est-ce que vous êtes certain que cette foule que vous évoquez comme un facteur qui, d'après ce que je comprends, vous permet de mesurer votre électorat, est-ce que cela vous permet vraiment de vous dire ces personnes vont me faire gagner l'élection demain?
oui, mais c'est ce que je vous dis, madame.
Vous en êtes si sûr, mais vous n'êtes pas
Pas,
certain que toute la foule que vous voyez, que tous sont inscrits, tous sont des cartes électorales. Comment est-ce que vous
alors,
réussissez à être si persuadé?
il y a quelque chose qui change cette année. Vous avez peut-être vu, j'ai vu ça passer là tout à l'heure, vous avez vu la marée humaine qu'il y avait, d'aucuns disent 25 000 personnes, j'en sais rien, la marée humaine qu'il y avait à Douala l'autre jour.
Oui.
Eh bien, je fais un exercice que j'avais fait en 2018. En 2018, j'avais demandé à tous ceux qui étaient venus à mon meeting au stade SICAM de montrer leur carte d'électeur. Et ce jour-là, quand j'avais vu le nombre de bras levés, j'avais compris que j'étais mal barré. Et l'autre jour, à Douala, j'ai osé le même truc. J'ai demandé aux gens de me montrer leur carte d'électeur. Et là, Madame Sandrine Hamga, quand j'ai vu les cartes d'électeurs soulevées, je me suis dit, il y a vraiment Dieu dedans, il y a quelque chose qui est en cours. Donc moi, je vous dis qu'il y a quelque chose qui se passe au Cameroun. Et moi, je reste convaincu que contrairement à certaines idées reçues, ce qui se prépare le 12 octobre au Cameroun est une grosse surprise. Oui,
Je veux
ça a
juste
pris du temps.
terminer sur ce point. Je vais aborder une autre thématique ou une autre problématique dans un instant. Toujours parlant de votre victoire que vous projetez pour le 12 octobre, est-ce que vous ne vous appuyez pas quelque peu sur le fait que la candidature de M. Kamto n'ait pas été validée? Et
Non,
regardant les dernières élections ou la dernière élection présidentielle, celle de 2018, est-ce que vous n'essayez pas de faire un rapprochement à vous dire, OK, si j'avais été troisième, si M. Kanto qui était deuxième n'était pas là, alors je pense que je pourrais probablement me rapprocher ou peut-être un peu plus remporter l'élection.
mais non, mais absolument pas. La politique, elle est dynamique, elle n'est pas statique. De 2018 à maintenant, beaucoup de choses se sont passées. En 2018, je n'avais pas été élu député. Je n'avais pas fait le travail parlementaire que j'ai fait maintenant. Je ne pouvais pas me prévaloir d'avoir dirigé un parti politique qui a des élus avec les résultats merveilleux que certaines de nos communes sont en train d'avoir. En 2018, la perception qu'il y avait sur ma personne, c'était la perception globalement d'un jeune qui vient de débarquer de la société civile, qui fait irruption dans le champ politique et qui était pour beaucoup un objet de curiosité. Non, maintenant c'est beaucoup plus différent. C'est pour ça que je faisais la différence entre Douala, en fait, tout à l'heure parlant de carte d'électeur, c'est-à-dire que j'avais plein de curieux qui étaient venus à mon meeting du Stade SICAM, mais là, l'autre jour, là, j'avais plein de personnes engagées. Donc, ma base électorale, grâce au travail, c'est pour ça que je parle, je dis que ma candidature est une candidature de travail, elle a forcément augmenté grâce au travail déjà d'implantation du parti qui a été fait sur le terrain, malgré la persécution, grâce au travail parlementaire et grâce au travail de formulation d'un projet politique. Euh, Beaucoup d'observateurs actuellement commencent à dire que sur les 12 offres politiques qui sont en compétition, la nôtre semble être la mieux aboutie, la mieux écrite. C'est pour ça que nous pouvons nous permettre de dire que nous sommes prêts. Donc non, nous ne sommes absolument pas... D'ailleurs, maintenant je vais vous dire, puisque vous faites une comparaison avec la candidature du professeur Kamto, et ça peut donner l'impression que parce qu'il n'est pas candidat, peut-être son électorat va se reverser vers moi. Et que c'est ça qui me donne de penser que je vais gagner. Mais je pense, oui, lui, il vient, je crois qu'il a annoncé officiellement il y a quelques jours, il a dit à ses militants de voter pour le candidat de leur choix. Mais j'espère que vous êtes aussi au courant que beaucoup de cadres de son parti ou de son ex-parti ont annoncé le tout sauf Cabral. Voilà. Et beaucoup d'entre eux ont clairement... je ne vous entends pas. Là, je ne vous entends pas. J'ai
Ok, non,
l'impression
je
que
demandais,
votre...
est-ce que cela ne vous fait pas peur? Parce qu'on l'a tous écouté le discours du professeur Kamto disant à ses électeurs d'aller voter qui ils veulent. Mais à côté, on l'a vu, vous le disiez il y a un instant, beaucoup de cas du MRC se rapprochaient du candidat Issa Chiroma Bakary. On voit beaucoup ce qui se passe dans la partie nord du Cameroun. On voit beaucoup ce qui se passe autour de M. Issa Chiroma Bakary. Est-ce que cela ne vous fait pas un tout petit peu, je ne vais pas dire reculer, mais revoir vos positions ou même vos ambitions?
Absolument pas. Absolument pas. J'étais dans ce nord, je viens de vous le dire. Et si vous
Mhm.
suivez l'actualité,
Je,
même si à la
je vous
distance,
ai vu marcher dans le
alors,
nord.
vous m'avez vu marcher dans le nord.
Mhm.
Et vous avez vu ces hommes et femmes qui venaient à ma rencontre dans
Ben,
les
il y
trois
en a qui
régions.
sont aussi allés à la rencontre de M. Issa Chiroma Bakary.
Cela est donc tout à fait normal. Cela est tout à fait normal. C'est-à-dire qu'il ne faut pas donner l'impression que tout l'électorat du Nord va vers une personne. Absolument pas. Moi, j'ai rencontré des hommes et des femmes dans cette partie du pays qui vous disent que pour rien au monde, ils ne vont voter pour quelqu'un juste parce qu'il leur dit je suis nordiste et venez pour moi, leur faisant oublier que toute la souffrance qu'ils endurent aujourd'hui, ils la supporté. Parce qu'il y a deux façons de servir un régime. Il y a des gens qui servent un régime avec mesure et modération. C'est-à-dire, ils se contentent d'être là-bas, de faire ces choses. Mais il y a des gens qui décident de servir un régime avec enthousiasme, avec passion. Et M. Bakary, Issa Chiroma Bakary est de ceux qui ont servi le régime avec passion. C'est-à-dire que lorsqu'on tuait des hommes, des femmes et des enfants en Garbou, ils venaient vous dire que c'est faux. C'est-à-dire que lorsque des bandits venaient cautionner la victoire électorale au Cameroun, ils vous disaient que c'était de vrais agents électoraux. Lorsque
Ben,
le
vous qui êtes
professeur
chrétien, vous
Camto
savez qu'ils s'est peut-être repenti.
lorsque, je finis juste, lorsque le professeur Kamto, dont vous parliez tout à l'heure, dénonçait la fraude électorale et ce dont il avait été l'objet après l'élection de 2018, lui, il le traitait d'illuminé. Donc, c'est quelqu'un qui, pendant 25 ans, s'est investi ardemment avec ses tripes à soutenir le régime qui a fait du Cameroun l'ombre de lui-même, qui a plongé les millions de Camerounais dans la souffrance. Et moi, j'ai rencontré des milliers de nordistes qui m'ont dit, Monsieur Libii, vous, oui, vous n'êtes pas nordiste, mais vous vous êtes battu à nos côtés. Parce que lorsque nous souffrions, vous, vous étiez à nos côtés. Et notre propre père ou frère n'était pas à nos côtés. Et ce qu'il veut faire là, le fameux repli communautaire, donne juste l'impression qu'il a démissionné 2 mois avant l'élection, non pas pour gagner l'élection, mais pour regagner le Nord et se positionner dans de nouvelles négociations. Donc ça, c'est une vérité qui fait que vous savez, il y a pas beaucoup de partis au Cameroun qui ont des élus, et dans le sud du pays et dans le septentrion. Il y a le parti au pouvoir, il y a l'UNDP, qui a des élus au nord et à l'est, et
Tout
vous
à
avez
fait.
le PCRN, qui a des élus au sud et dans la Damawa, notamment dans le Mbere, à Menganga. Et vous n'avez pas beaucoup de partis comme le PCRN qui, je peux vous prendre à Kaikai. J'aime toujours le résultat de Kaikai. Ou aux élections municipales à Kaikai. Kaikai, c'est dans le maillot d'Anaï, après Maga là-bas.
Mhm.
Nous avons fait 47%. 47%. Nous avons fait à Kribi de 30%. Donc, même si nous n'avons pas gagné, à Konyambeta, nous avons gagné, c'est dans le centre, dans le MBAM, et on nous a volé notre victoire en payant 3 de nos surveillants dans les 27 bureaux de vote, et puis ils ont disparu, ils ont pris de l'argent, ils ont vendu nos PV. Donc, ce que je veux que vous compreniez, Madame Sandrine Yamga, c'est qu'il y a une chose que moi je me suis toujours dite dès que je suis entré en politique. J'ai compris que on ne peut pas être élu président de la République en faisant du tribalisme, en faisant du repli communautaire ou ethnique. Parce que dans ce pays, d'où que vous veniez, même si les votes, vous votez du nouveau-né, c'est-à-dire qu'on permette même aux nouveau-nés de voter, jusqu'aux plus vieux, s'ils vous votent tous, vous ne gagnerez jamais une élection présidentielle. C'est ce que je disais à votre collègue Mimi Mefo tout à l'heure. Le Cameroun est un pays de diversité et il
Mhm.
faut que les gens vous acceptent partout. C'est d'ailleurs pour cela que le parti au pouvoir s'est toujours battu pour donner l'impression que seul le président Biya était accepté partout. C'est pour ça qu'ils font des pieds et des mains de sophistiquer la fraude, donnant toujours l'impression que les autres opposants ne peuvent être élus que chez eux et jamais ailleurs. Et moi, je vous dis que l'une des victoires qui est celle du PCRN, c'est d'avoir travaillé à lui donner véritablement un rayonnement national. Nous, on n'a pas attendu de démissionner, encore que moi, je ne suis pas membre. J'aurais pu être membre du gouvernement en 2018. J'ai décliné l'offre parce qu'elle était mauvaise. Et c'est une digression que je fais. Elle était mauvaise.
Mhm.
C'est-à-dire que le régime Biya plonge les gens dans le coma quand il les recrute. Ils n'acceptent jamais que lorsqu'ils viennent vers vous pour vous proposer d'entrer dans leur gouvernement, comme ça a été le cas avec moi, que vous leur donniez des conditions. Moi, je leur avais dit en 2018, Abdoulaye Wade, qui est l'un de mes modèles politiques en Afrique, est l'un des opposants les plus emblématiques du Sénégal. Il a été 3 fois ministre avant d'être élu président. Et à chaque fois, il signait des accords politiques pour entrer dans le gouvernement. Et lorsque ces accords n'étaient plus respectés, il claquait la porte. Mais nous avons là 2 personnes qui ont démissionné il y a 2 mois, qui vous disent, qui, tout le temps qu'ils ont été au gouvernement, étaient comme des comateux. Parce que, je ne suis pas médecin, mais la particularité du coma, c'est que quand quelqu'un sort du coma, ses derniers souvenirs sont ceux qu'il avait avant d'entrer dans le coma. Et quand
Tout
vous
à fait.
écoutez les gens qui viennent de démissionner, ils parlent du Cameroun qu'ils critiquaient avant d'entrer au gouvernement. C'est-à-dire que quelqu'un vous dit que le pays s'il n'a pas d'emploi alors qu'il vient d'être ministre de l'Emploi il y a 2 mois. Mais ça, il ne s'en
Yes.
souvient plus parce qu'il était dans le coma. Donc,
Okay.
il y a des
J'ai
gens qui
une
ont
dernière
choisi,
question pour vous.
je finis juste, il y
Oui.
a des gens qui ont choisi de servir servilement le pouvoir Biya et qui, à la faveur d'une élection, démissionnent quelques jours avant, donnant l'impression aux gens qu'ils veulent que ce régime tombe. C'est faux. Et il y a beaucoup de Camerounais qui sont lucides et qui ne tombent pas dans ce piège. Et c'est pour cela que je vous dis que même si, effectivement, il y a un accord ouvert ou tacite entre certains militants de partis d'opposition, et nonobstant ce que leur leader, mais encore que leur leader leur dit de choisir qui ils veulent, y compris même ceux qui les ont plongés dans la misère, c'est leur choix. Mais nous croyons que la proportion de Camerounais qui va accepter de s'incliner devant ce que nous appelons les veaux d'or sera faible et que la majorité et l'écrasante majorité des Camerounais, là où nous allons le 12 octobre 2025, veut le changement que j'incarne.
OK. Alors, dernière question pour moi, hein, le temps que Mimi revienne. Alors, vous aviez dit il y a quelques mois ou quelques années, je ne sais plus trop bien, que le PCRN est un parti proposant. Et aujourd'hui, cela suffit à certains de vous coller l'étiquette d'être un sous-parti au pouvoir. Qu'est-ce que vous répondez à cela?
D'abord, ça avait été dit par ma collègue et elle avait totalement raison. Totalement raison, Madame Sandrine Yamga. C'est 2 termes qui vont ensemble. On n'invente pas la roue. On attend d'un parti politique qu'il s'oppose, lorsqu'il n'est pas au pouvoir, qu'il s'oppose à celui qui est au pouvoir, ce que nous, au PCRN, nous faisons admirablement. Vous n'avez qu'à voir ce que nous avons fait seulement à l'Assemblée nationale, si vous revenez sur nos sorties, sur nos positions. Mais madame, lorsque le mouvement OTS a éclaté, qui est monté au créneau dans ce pays? C'est bien moi. Lorsqu'on a augmenté les prix du carburant, qui est monté au créneau pour démontrer aux Camerounais ce que c'était cette forfaiture? C'est bien moi. Lorsqu'on a signé le faux contrat minier de Kribi, qui est monté au créneau? C'est bien moi. Lorsqu'on a détourné les fonds Covid et les fonds des infrastructures sportives, qui est monté au créneau pour le démontrer au point que même le gouvernement était obligé de concéder que j'avais raison, ce qui était inédit? C'était bien moi. Et qui a proposé, parce qu'on n'attend pas seulement d'un parti politique qui s'oppose, c'est-à-dire qu'il montre les limites. C'est ça le jeu politique. Oui, il faut montrer les limites du gouvernement pour convaincre l'électeur. Mais nous, on ne s'arrête pas à ça, Madame Sandrine Yamga. Nous proposons. L'ouvrage de 400 pages que nous avons publié en août 2024 est un faisceau de propositions. 400 pages de propositions. Donc oui, nous assumons les deux pleinement. Nous sommes un parti d'opposition et nous sommes un parti de proposition. Il y en a qui choisissent de n'être que des partis d'opposition sans jamais être des partis de proposition. C'est leur choix. Nous, on n'a pas à les critiquer. Nous, on assume les deux.
Je ne sais pas si Mimi est de retour là, parce que je dois la laisser pour terminer, je pense, la dernière partie de l'émission. Je pense que je vais me reconnecter avec Cabral plus tard, certainement,
Oui.
j'espère.
Oui.
Vous avez noté que l'affinité avec Sandrine est restée. Elle ne trouve pas, elle n'arrive pas à m'appeler honorable ou président. Elle
J'y
m'appelle
arrive pas,
Cabral. Et
c'est
d'ailleurs,
terrible.
moi-même, spontanément, je l'appelle Sandrine. Bon, par moment, j'ai mis madame, je sais. Mais c'est tout à fait normal, ça atteste de l'affinité qu'il y a.
Oui, bien sûr,
Okay.
tout à fait.
Je récupère tes coordonnées à Mimi tout à l'heure. OK, on se reparle. Merci beaucoup.
Tout à l'heure,
Merci
Sandrine.
beaucoup,
À tout à
Sandrine.
l'heure.
Merci. Yeah, tout à l'heure. And thank you so much, Honorable, for your insightful response.
You're
I
welcome.
can see a lot of people responding and also commenting in the comment section. But I just wanted us to, because we are going to have you again. You remember, we're going to have you on Sunday. So we cannot discuss everything today. I can see that. But I just wanted to find out, if you become president today, what is going to be your relation with members of the government, those who are there now? What would you do to them, to those who are the corrupt officials, to those who have been there for more than 40 years?
Madam, I'm fighting to renew this country. I'm fighting to renew this country. I will not reject any person we will accept to join our our politics. But I think all those who are ruling this country during these 43 years, because many of them are there since 30 years, some of them are there since 30 years, 40 years, like their president. So, many of them are old. It is time for them to rest, just to rest, to give the opportunity to a new generation to rule this country and to show to the Cameroonians how a country can be changed, how a country can be ruled in the benefits of citizens, in the benefits of families. Because, as I've told you earlier in our discussion, uh, this country has a marvelous potential, and this potential need to be released, to be unleashed, to be unleashed. And you cannot change. You cannot, comment on dit en français? On ne met pas du vin nouveau dans de vieilles outres. I'm the candidate of rupture and progress. And the candidate of rupture cannot put the new wine in
In an old
the
basket.
lost and old basket. Nope. Nope.
Mm.
We are ready to rule this country. We are ready to impress, not to impress, to print. I don't know if en français, imprimer, to print change and progress in this country. I have behind me many boys and girls, many men and women who are ready to work with me here and abroad, where you are, to change this country.
Yes. And can you do that alone? The answer is no, because you already said that you have a lot of young boys and girls surrounding you to work with you to bring that change that Cameroon needs. But in terms of opposition coalition, there was a time in public debates where no coalition, no election was trending as a hashtag. Opposition unity has become a big issue. We've seen two opposition party leaders, Mr. Ateki and Barrister Akerimuna, joining force with Bello Boba Maigari of NUDP party. So far, you've really stayed quiet. That has been my observation. Is it that you believe that you can defeat President Paul Biya alone without a coalition?
What is the meaning of coalition? It is the case where other persons, many persons from different origins, different political parties, or different organizations decide to gather and mutualize. Now, tell me, madam, when town crier, you know, town crier, you
Mhm.
know this influencer, you know town crier,
Yes.
certainly. And you certainly know that town crier has decided 2 days ago to join the orange wave. You know, the persons, the number of voters that a person like town crier can bring around me sometimes may be more than those who which another political personality can bring to me, because he is a very popular and a very famous personality. When Musti Charismatic, you know Musti Charismatic, he's
Yes,
not a member.
certainly.
He's not a member of my political party, but he has been seduced, seduced, seduced
Reduced.
by my program. He has decided to give me his support. When the artists like Tony Nobody, like Marcus, like Dianama, like Tanya Kondom, when the influencers like L'Étoile Caribbeenne, like La Rose Africaine, when the intellectuals like Dr. Carol Chachuang Yonzu, and I have certainly forgotten some names, they have decided to support my candidature. Which kind of coalition do you want me? Which other kind of coalition do you want? This is the coalition. And other a council, conseiller municipal, a municipal council, a councillor of CPDM. I've discovered it in the newspaper yesterday. A municipal councillor of CPDM in Colmeted, the village of the boss of police, has decided he has decided to support my candidature. What do you want? So there is I don't have anything against the other coalitions. But let me tell you that I have always been ready to mutualize. Let me remind you something. Few months ago, Professor Olivier Billet created what we called ATP, Pacific Transition Alliance. I was the one who went to Barrister Akeremuna. I went to his office and I convinced him to join this coalition. I just remember I was in France and I was interviewed by RFI, Boisbouvier. He has a program every morning, African interview. And he asked to me, okay, now you are mutualizing with Olivier Billet, with Akere Muna. Are you ready to stay behind somebody else? I answered yes. And he asked me, who behind, yes, who behind whom, it is good English, who behind
Yes,
whom you will
yes.
stay. And I give the name of Akeremun. And he asked me why. I told him it will be an opportunity for this country to have an Anglophone president, because I think it is important for this country also to have an Anglophone president. It is a question of equity. Second reason, he is a famous barrister. He has a good reputation everywhere, and he is an experienced man. We want a transition. Me, I'm younger than him. If I'm elected for a transition, I can be suspected because I'm younger than the others to want to stay.
So why didn't you form a
I say
coalition with
that.
him?
I
Why
say
did
that
you not form a
publicly.
coalition with him? Yes.
Professor Bile and Akere Muna are those who decided to change the plan. And I'm still there observing them. He changed this plan. He joined another political party, and recently he changed another plan. He changed again his own plan. Now he's joining another candidate. That's good. I don't have a problem like that. But when I can tell you now, because
So you
the
mean
orange,
Barrister Akeremona is the only candidate that you could rally behind and let him be the candidate?
I was just giving you an example
An example. Yes. Okay.
of
Mm,
ATP. This
mm.
example testify that I have always been ready to mutualize, to coalize. But if the others, they don't need to coalize, now tell me, Madam Mefo, do you find normal that me, Cabral Libii, who is working close to the citizens, the population in this country, for me to go and stay behind somebody who has ruled us during 30 years with this regime? He has been a solid part and member of this regime. In National Assembly, the political party of Bello Buba is in National Assembly. All the bad things this regime has done is National Assembly. All the bad bills this regime has adopted in National Assembly, they were with them. They
But
were
they are
with them.
having more support. They are having a lot of
And
support.
me,
Issa
who
Shiroma
was,
Bakari, for instance, they're having a lot of support. Are you worried? that it could.
Nope, 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 nope. I'm not. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. You have seen my own support. You have seen them supporting me everywhere. In Douala, few days ago, in the south, in the far north, in the north, in Adamawa, everywhere. You know, I
Mm,
thank God every day because I have achieved a dream. In 2019, I wanted to build a political party which can really represent all Cameroonians. Because, you know, in this country, generally, the problem is that the regime worked to push the political parties and their leaders to their villages, to their own villages or regions. But, you know, in this country, we have three political parties which has elected les élus, which has
yeah,
elected in the
elected.
south
Yeah.
part of the country and in the north part in the country, precisely in Menganga. So for us, we are convinced now that we are represented everywhere in this country. Tomorrow, I'm going to Bamenda. I'm represented here by Barrister Tamfu Richard, which is mobilizing there for the meeting which will take place tomorrow. So we don't
Mm,
worry. We know that some of candidates, they have decided to abandon the regime a few weeks before the elections after serving the regime during 25 years, 30 years, not to win the presidential election, just to win their regions. And after the election, they will be in position to renegotiate with the regime. Me, I'm running to change this country. I'm running for the rupture. And you know, Madam Mimi Mefo, this regime is at its end. And at its end, we cannot refuse the original and we take the photocopy.
okay. So I just also wanted to find out from you before we go about what is your relationship with Professor Maurice Kamto, because there are a lot of talks on social media, like you said. Most of the criticisms come from the followers. Even as a media, we have also been facing our own fair share of the attacks, but that cannot determine how I see Professor Maurice Kamto, because he is different from the online trolls and those who are criticizing online. What is your relationship with Professor Maurice Kamto? Because we've seen recently he's met other opposition leaders, have visited him to talk about the way forward for Cameroon. His candidacy was rejected, but he also has a lot of ideas when it comes to change, economic, political, and social changes.
You know, political leaders can have divergence, c'est ça, divergence.
Mm,
They can have divergence in their political offers, in their ideologies, in their propositions, but remain, but preserve good personal relations. Relationship between Professor Kamto and me. Professor Kamto was my lecturer in university. In university. So I have respect. I respect him as a great intellectual, as a respectable political leader, and our relationship is very, very good, very, very convivial. We have worked together in a group during yes, 2 years. 2 years. The group with SDF, with UDC, USDP, UMS, MP,
mm.
for the rewriting of electoral code. And many, many times we worked together in very nice and good ambience. So what you are seeing in social media is done by some of members of his political parties, but what do you want? It is politics.
And yours as well, because the
And
verbal
and and
war,
mine, and mine,
yes,
and mine.
the
Yes,
war
yes,
online is
obviously.
out of proportion. Sometimes it gets out of control, but it's important to understand that at the level of yours, like yourself and Professor Maurice Kamto, things are just fine, and that the noise, I can put it like that, the social media noise, do not get into the way of what you really want to achieve for Cameroon. It's
Absolutely not.
very, yes, it's very important to understand that. But on a personal level, Honorable, you are an MP, you are also a party leader, but tell us about your personal life, your family, and outside politics. People want to understand the things that
But
make
before
you,
that, please, let me tell
yes.
you something very, very important. It's
Mm,
about nationality. Because for me, it's very, very important because I know you are abroad and I know in which conditions you I know what you passed through. But uh, the recent statistics they gave us in National Assembly is that at least 7 million of Cameroonians are established abroad, and these it is particular for a country to have this kind of diaspora in quality, in quantity, and in quality. That's
mm,
why, and for me, it's very important to say that. That's why if I am elected, one of the first thing I will do was to overhaul the the Nationality Act we have in this country from 1968, and we put in place in this country the not the binationality, but the multinationality, because we are conscious that those of our compatriots to integrate themselves where they are, they have been obliged to take the local nationality. So
mhm.
I don't understand that this country, we want the money of our diaspora, we want the expertise of our diaspora, but we don't need them personally. No, we have to change it and reconciliate our diaspora with their country.
Yes. So back to the question about so that Cameroonians can know you. We always ask towards the end of the discussion, Cameroonians can know you personally because they just see Honorable Cabral Libii online. Do you have a family, a life outside politics? Can you tell us just briefly about yourself?
Okay, I'm married.
Yeah,
I'm married. I'm a farmer.
interesting.
Because, yes, I'm a farmer. When I'm in my village, Maomi, I go every day to the farm. Um, I love cinema, movies,
Okay. Okay.
historical movies, and mafia movies. I like particularly mafia and historical movies. Um, I like reading. Reading, I read a lot. I read a lot. You cannot see because in my office here I have books everywhere
Mm,
because I want to know things. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. So I want to increase my culture. I don't like. I don't want to be in difficulty when you ask me a question. I want to be
yes.
up to date.
Yes.
So I like traveling, discover the world. So I'm a father. What do you want me to say? I'm the chief of my family because my father died 2 years ago, and I'm the uh, l'aîné in English
Yes.
when you are the first.
You're the eldest, the
Yeah,
first, the
yes, I'm
eldest.
the eldest. I'm the eldest of my family, so I'm the father. I'm the father of
Mm,
my family.
yes.
After politics, I try to remain the father of my family, close to my family, give them love, the same love I give to all the Cameroonians. I should give them. I should give it first to
Yes.
to to, to my
We've
family.
seen you in a lot of videos being a non-politician and also dancing. So we've seen
I
it.
like dance, but my father beat me a lot when I was young to discourage me to continue to dance. But I love dance. What do you want? I love music. I've been in
Mm,
school music. I'm a chorist.
yes.
I'm
Mm.
a chorist. I have a music, an album. I have a music.
Album.
No,
Okay.
yes, I have a
Would
music
want to
album.
listen
It's
to
not.
it.
It's not yet. It's not yet published. I have a
Okay.
music album with my choir, Divine Fullness Singers,
Okay.
gospel, because I'm a Christian. I'm a
Oh.
born again Christian.
Mm,
So and I'm a choir. I like worship God. I like worship God because I think that I've been blessed. Even my political journey is a blessing. Seeing somebody coming from nowhere, beginning from zero, and doing what I've done, it is the grace of God. It is the hand of God which is open my head.
mm,
So, okay, this is Cabral Libii. Cabral
yes.
Libii. One day I was in US and they were calling me in the airport because I was not registered to my flight, and they were calling Mr. Cabral Libii, Mr. Cabral Libii. I didn't know that it was me. So the person with whom I was told me, but okay, Libii is not you, but Cabral is you. Let us go and verify. And when we checked, I was the one who was called. So that's why generally when I speak in English, sometimes I say that my name is Cabral Libii.
Okay, so thank you. I know you just have
You're
to wait
welcome.
briefly after this because, and we also have a brief conversation that you know about. We won't want to take your time, but it's been an amazing conversation. Just final
Yeah.
question before we go. How are you going to protect your votes? Do you have polling agents nationwide? How many do you have?
We are recruiting polling agents. We don't have choice. Let me show you. This is our ballot, the orange one. Orange ballot is the one which should be put in the polling station. So, they have now in Cameroon we have sophisticated fraud, electoral fraud. In a video you can find in my website, www.cabral2025.cm, www.cabral2025.cm. You will see a video we have put there demonstrating that they have already created 2 million voters, fake voters, 2 million. You will see if you go and check this video. We have
Yes, I
demonstrated
saw the
how they
video.
have done
Yes.
it. And the only way to block this electoral fraud is to have human beings edified. Because you can be in a ballot fraud, but you don't see exactly how they are frauding. So it's
Mm,
to have human beings, agents, physical agents in all the polling stations. They have announced 31,000 polling stations. But what I'm saying every day is that if you have the pretension to be elected with electoral corps estimated at 8 million persons, you should be able to mobilize uh, 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 31,000 persons to represent you in
mm,
polling stations. That's why I call every day for individual responsibility, Madam Mimi Mefo. Because for me, those who want change should first vote. We have to go and vote. A few minutes ago, you spoke about coalition.
mhm.
1 year ago in Senegal, a candidate named Jomai Faye won an election in the first round, because in this country they have 2 rounds, but he won
Yes.
elections after the first round against 16 other candidates. Within them, you had 3 former prime minister, uh, a former director of taxes, and others. So, what was the difference in Senegal? That's why even if you don't have the coalition with all the candidates, it's the people who decides. I just remind you another thing. You can verify, you can Google it. From 1992 till now, 1992, Paul Biya, Frunzi, and Bello Buba Maigari. In 1997, Paul Biya, Ari Hogbelen, and Samuel Eboa. in 2004, Paul Biya, Frunzi Garga Aman Aji. 2018, 2011, Paul Biya, Frunzi Ndamjoya. 2018, Paul Biya come to Cabral Libii. You can Google it. At the end of all these elections, the first in the ranking are winning every time more than 95% of votes. That means that in our country, the voters are rational. They know which candidate is serious and which candidate is not serious. Having many candidates never disperse. Never disperse in English is what?
Like disperse.
Never having many candidates in this country never disperse the votes. I have given you two examples just to show you that the main victory of those who are ruling of this 40-year regime is that they have put in the brain of Cameroonians that they cannot do anything. That's why we call in French impuissance apprise. In English is what? Impuissance is what? Puissance is powerful.
Impotence is
Impuissance,
yes, it means powerless.
yes,
Like
the learned powerness. We call it learned powerness. Because when you integrate that, your vote cannot change anything. You yourself, even if you are an agent to control a controller, you will not change anything. Nope. Cameroonians should know that to change a regime, it is a matter of personal, individual responsibility. Every voter who wants change should go on October 12th in his ballot station, voting and control the vote. Even if we candidate, we don't give him money. Tell me, Madam Mimi Mefo, if you stay just one day without eating from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., you will not die. It is your sacrifice for change in your
for the
country.
change you want to see in your country.
Exactly.
That is very important, a very important point there. And I'm so glad I'm taking this my computer, my laptop, because I saw a comment. A Cameroonian said that I am not in support of anyone to win. But the answer to my question I'm going to ask will definitely tell you who will win. So they are saying that they are not, people are saying that they are not interested in the election. This is 11 days to October 12th. And Cameroonians who are thirsty, like soif pour le changement, as some of them are saying that they are not interested. They don't want to go and vote because there's still this general feeling of voter apathy. People are still, there are so many Cameroonians who are undecided. They don't know whether to go to the polls because they are not sure whether their votes will be protected, whether it will even be counted, whether it will be rigged, and so on and so forth. So finally, before we go, what what is your message to people, to Cameroonians who think like this?
I'm saying that enough is enough. We all know the reality of our country. For you who are abroad, for you who are abroad, you know that every day you receive calls from Cameroon. You have to send money. You have to help. You have to give. You are working abroad for those who are behind you here in the country. For we are here for those who are like me in Cameroon. We know the reality of our country. We all know that we need change. But this change, don't delegate the mission of change only to the candidates. You who are listening what I'm saying, you who are watching this program, you also, exactly like the 12 candidates, or less than 12 candidates now, you also have your own responsibility. You are also an actor of change. You are also a delegate of change. Don't let others work for change. You also need. Just do your part. Let me tell you, it is an, we call it in French la fable. It is an history. titled in French is La part du colibri. In English, it can be translated the colibri part. A colibri is a bird, just a small bird. And once upon the time, this is generally the beginning of the story. Once upon the time,
Please let
one
it
day,
not be a story.
one day in the bush, a fire began, a fire, and all the animals were going away from the bush because the fire was destroying everything. And the small bird named colibri in French, I don't know the name in English, he saw a, a small flaque d'eau, water somewhere. And he decided to go with le bec. I don't know the name of the bec of the bird
The
in
big,
English. I don't.
I
Huh?
think it's the big. Yeah, but
Uh, uh,
we can understand. We can
okay.
understand.
And with
Yes.
his bec, his small bec, he started to go picking water and uh, 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 and put it in water, in fire. And a big animal passing by this place stay and ask him, ah, petit colibri, with your petit bec, you cannot stop this fire. And the petit colibri answered, I know that I cannot stop this fire, but I'm doing my part. I'm doing my own.
Mm.
Please, I'm begging, just do your part. Just do your own. And the addition of our individual and personal action, this addition will give as a result a victory of change in this country.
Thank you so
That's
much.
why I'm deeply optimistic. I'm sure
Thank you.
that something will happen in this country on October 12th, 2025.
Thank you so much, Honorable Cabral. Please just hold on like 2 minutes while I conclude this discussion. Because I see so many Cameroonians are watching. We saw your questions, but I just wanted to officially announce that MMI and the Road to Etoudi team, we are preparing a big debate on the 5th of October, 2025. That's going to be Sunday this weekend, this Sunday. So please mark it on your calendar as from 6 p.m. Is it 6 p.m. or 5 p.m.? 6 p.m. Cameroon time. We are going to be having a big, one of the biggest debates, discussions that we've ever had since the Road to Etoudi program started, this political program started, where we will have the opportunity to listen to all the candidates, including Cabral. Cabral was not able to even tell us some of his social programs, his economic, he could not detail even his foreign policies, but you will hear from him again on that day what exactly he's got to offer. We will listen to all the candidates. Some might be there live, some will join before, during, or even after. But please keep that appointment because it's going to stream on several social media platforms. We will be giving you details of this program in the couple of the next hours or maybe tomorrow. But please just watch the space because we are going to be giving you details about this. I also want to use this opportunity to thank Cameroonians. This is the 7th presidential candidate that Road to Etoudi has interviewed so far. And we cannot conclude this program without saying thank you for all your support, for everything that you have been doing to push us to be there. Whenever we just come and say we have a discussion today, you are there to follow us, to be part of the conversation, because you want to be part of those writing the history of the generations to come in Cameroon. Remember that we started Road to Etoudi 3 months ago, and today we are exactly 11 days to the presidential election. What is your decision after listening, watching, hearing from 7 presidential candidates? We've also issued invitations to the other political parties, including President Paul Biya himself. We are waiting to see what the response will be. But so far, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thank you for also sharing. For those who have been following the discussions and giving constructive remarks in the comment section, we want to really applaud you and say thank you. And for our guests today, also, we want to say, really say thank you. like I said, you will get the opportunity to listen to him again on Sunday, because that is going to be like a bigger debate, and it's not going to be just me alone. We will be having different faces. So it's very, very important to keep that appointment for that day. And for the entire MMI team, particularly the Road to Etoudi production team, including Jodeka Kenye. Sorry, I'm always having difficulties pronouncing his beautiful name, but he has been like the backbone of this program, and I just wanted to appreciate him on here. And Kingsley Shete also has been doing very amazing. We also have Master, that's how we call her. They are all amazing, doing fantastic work from the background. I'm just the face of this program, and I just wanted to thank also the entire MMI team for putting this program together, and it's been fantastic so far. So thank you. This is not our last debate, it's not the last discussion, but I just want to say we appreciate you so much. Thank you and thank you and thank you. Goodbye.